Hi guys, welcome back to Kim's class. Today's is the fourth lesson in the unit about friends and neighbors. But before we look at what the objectives for today are, I want to make sure that you know that the worksheets and activities that I do during this video, you can find for free. Just make sure you click on this link. It will take you to the place where I put these worksheets so that you, if you want, can work through the activities as you're watching a video. Now you can also find those activities and many more as well as videos on my website at kimsclass.com. All right? Excellent. Let's go ahead and look at what our objectives are for today's lesson. The first objective says, I can read a paragraph and answer questions about a neighborhood watch. I wonder what that is. I bet we'll find out. The next objective says, I can use context clues in a paragraph to learn new words. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you know that we talk a lot about using context clues instead of looking up every word in a translator. We'll have some practice with that again today. The last objective says, I can identify phrasal verbs in a reading and define their meaning. Many of you have asked me to do lessons on phrasal verbs. So today, your wish is my command. So let's begin by talking about a neighborhood watch. Now, if we look at those two words separately, we might not understand. So neighborhood is the area that you live in. And watch, right? But when we put that together, we get the word neighborhood watch. Now that is when a group of people who live in the same area decide to make sure their area or their homes are safe. They take turns walking around the neighborhood, making sure that the people that are there should be there. They watch for criminal activities, sometimes even for things like dogs that run loose. That's a neighborhood watch. So we're going to read a story about a successful neighborhood watch. Now, as we read the paragraph, I want you to do two things. One is I want you to look for words you don't understand and try to use context clues, which means the words that are around that word you don't know, to see if you can understand the meaning without looking it up in your translator. The second thing that I want you to do when we read this passage is look for phrasal verbs. Now, phrasal verbs are words that have a verb and usually a preposition next to it that by themselves don't translate or mean the same thing. We'll have some practice with phrasal verbs after the reading, but keep this in mind as you read through this passage. Now I'm going to read it for you, and I'd like you to follow along. You can practice pronunciation, and you can also practice fluency. Then you can pause the video and read it by yourself. But let's go ahead and read this passage together. So class, on your screen, you see the reading for today. Now this reading is an article that is probably in a neighborhood newspaper. The title of the article is Neighborhood Watch Success Story. You can see that it was written by Letitia Holmes, who is the president of the Rolling Hills Neighborhood Watch. Let's go ahead and read what Letitia Holmes said. People often ask me about the role of Neighborhood Watch. My answer is, because of Neighborhood Watch, our neighborhood is safer and nicer. Members of the Neighborhood Watch help each other and look after the neighborhood. For example, we look after our neighbors' houses when they aren't home. We help elderly neighbors with yard work. Once a month, we get together to paint over graffiti. Last Wednesday, the Neighborhood Watch team had another success story. Around 8:30 p.m., members of our Neighborhood Watch were out on a walk. Near the corner cafe, they noticed two men next to George Garcia's car. George lives on Rolling Hills Drive. The men were trying to break into the car. Suddenly, the car alarm went off. The men ran away and got into a car down the street. But they weren't quick enough. Our Neighborhood Watch members wrote down the car's license plate number and called the police. Later that night, the police arrested the two men. I would like to congratulate our Neighborhood Watch team on their good work. Because so many people participate in Neighborhood Watch, Rolling Hills is a safer neighborhood today. For information about Neighborhood Watch, please call 773-555-1234. So class, did you notice the phrasal verbs in this reading? You'll see that below the passage, there are several phrasal verbs I've pointed out for you. We have went off, ran away, get together, watch out, break into, and wrote down. These are 6 examples of phrasal verbs. You also see that there are 6 definitions. I'd like you to match the phrasal verb with the correct definition. Pause your video, do the activity, and then we'll get together and get the correct answers. Go ahead and pause your video now. All right, class, let's see how you did. Watch out means to take care of. Get together, to meet. Wrote down means to put on paper. Break into means to enter illegally. Went off means a sudden loud noise. And the last one, ran away, means to leave in a hurry. So we had some practice with some of the phrasal verbs from the passage. As you can imagine, there are many more phrasal verbs in the English language. What you see now on your screen is a little chart. At the top of the chart, we have the verbs get, break, run, go, and look. Below, you'll see many prepositions. What I'd like you to do is try to make as many phrasal verbs as you can using the verbs above and the prepositions below. Now, let's just do an example. I see the word get, and then I see the word up. Get up. That is a phrasal verb. What about break up? That's also a phrasal verb. You can also look up or go up. So, do you get the idea? You're going to put all those prepositions up under the verbs. Try to make as many verbs, phrases as you can. Okay? Pause the video, make your words, and then turn the video back on, and we'll go over the answers together. Go ahead, pause your video now. Okay, class, as you can see, many of those prepositions can be used with all of the verbs, making many different verb phrases. So let's go ahead and look at some examples of these phrasal verbs. You don't have to have them in order like I do. Just check to see if you have the right idea. Now, we have get off, get up, get out, get into, get away, get together, and get after. For the verb break, to make phrasal verbs, we have break off, break up, break out, break into, and break away. Let's look at the verb run. Run off, run out, run into, run away, run together, run after. Now the verb go. Go off, go up, go out, go into, go away, go together, go after. And the last verb, look. Look up, look out, look into, look away, and look after. So as you can see, there are many phrasal verbs, and this is just a small example of some of them. Now your answers might be a little bit different, and that's okay. But I hope that you see that there are many different phrasal verbs. So let's go ahead and look at today's objectives and see how we did. Can you read a paragraph and answer questions about phrasal verbs? We had some practice with that. Can you use context clues in a paragraph to learn new words? I hope you tried that. And can you identify phrasal verbs in a reading, define their meaning, and make your own phrasal verbs? We did that too. So class, that's the lesson for today. But before we go, I want to remind you of a few things. First, if you're interested in working on some of these worksheets while you see the video, make sure you click on this link and it will take you to these worksheets for free. Second, you can find other videos and other activities on my website at kimsclass.com. So as we say goodbye, I have 4 quick requests. First, make sure that you like this video. Second, click on the subscribe button so that every time I post a new video, you'll get notified. Third, if you think others may enjoy these videos as much as I hope you did, share it with them. And lastly, write me a comment in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. But for now, I have to go. I hope you know what a blessing it is to see you here in Kim's class. Thank you for allowing me to come on this journey with you to learn English. Hope to see you soon.